Back for the start of Game 6, Danny Crawford, Bernie Fryer, and Bennett Salvatore, who have each worked the game earlier in the finals, are the three officials tonight. Crawford to throw it up. Ben Wallace and Nazr Mohammed to jump. And here we go from San Antonio. And the tip will go out of bounds. And it was last touch with Bennett Salvatore there, making the call by San Antonio. Detroit will inbound as Larry Brown's Pistons have the first possession of the night. Tayshaun Prince to send it in. Chauncey Billups. Parker starts on him here. Wallace with Mohammed out to get him. And then Hamilton gets free underneath, has that contested. San Antonio has it.
They had an excellent look, mainly because Bowen played him on the baseline side.
Tony Parker off the high screen. Ginobili is wide open, and that's the perfect beginning for San Antonio, a three-pointer.
He's been on fire all throughout the playoffs in making the threes. You've got to get out on top of him. You know that when you get the dribble drive, it's going to open up the three-point kickouts.
Ben Wallace, who's had a real good series on both ends of the court, puts one in here to make it 3-2.
I like the fact that he's looking for his offense out. He's been able to get by people with the dribble and then also hit the jump shot facing. Oh, here you go, 3-on-1.
Detroit with a steal. Chauncey Billups will lay it back for the left-handed Tayshaun Prince.
Remember what we said, San Antonio, you must take care of your defensive boards, cut down, limit the turnovers, because Detroit, out in the open floor, they finish.
Ginobili, two tremendous games here to start the series, 26 and 27 points in those two. High off the glass, no good. Rasheed Wallace comes away with it. Chauncey Billups, last year's finals MVP, and certainly not out of the running to be this year's if Detroit is able to win the next two games. Prince. And Duncan off the glass.
Yeah, they played that soft. That's why Prince was open once he got into the foul line area.
And Tony Parker squirts his way through. Loves to penetrate, loves to drive. Example A right there.
Already, 3 possessions, 3 penetrations off the dribble. Everything into the painted area. That's a bad sign.
Bad sign for Detroit to let him get in there. As Rasheed Wallace, one-on-one now with Duncan. Gets help underneath and then puts it in. Bowen came over to double him, but the basket counts and he'll go to the free throw line.
Now we said in our open, Rasheed and Tayshaun Prince must step up here now and give them solid double-figure points. Now they go to Rasheed early in every contest. Now you like the fact that he's facing up and taking Duncan, forcing Duncan to play him off the dribble.
Rasheed scoring in spurts, a little under 10 points per game in the playoffs. Juby said scoring early. He seems to get a couple of baskets, then he goes away for a long while, then maybe 1 or 2 toward the end.
Everything comes down now when you're a power forward or a center in the play calls from the bench, and then also when you're freelancers, once the opposition takes away your first 2 phases of your play, will now look for the front court people.
Here's Duncan with Ben Wallace on him. And the push on Wallace, who hates the call, then comes all the way out to midcourt.
Remember what we always say in these contests. The players must adjust to the refereeing in the first 5 minutes. How are they going to allow physical contact down on the box? How are they going to call it? Also on the dribbling. Will they allow you to bump and grind?
Foul is on Wallace, each team with 1. Parker. And Ben there for the rebound. As Mike Tirico mentioned on the pregame show, who in the world would have figured Ben Wallace would be outscoring Rasheed Wallace in the series? Billups misses, Duncan clears it to Parker.
Right now, you can see Detroit's defense. You are definitely going to be tested here in transition.
Good move by Parker. And he has to dish it off to Bowen. Clock is down to 7.
He's got time to go one-on-one.
He stops and pops.
Throughout this series, Tony Parker's 15 to 18-foot game has been excellent when he pulls up for that jumper. Outside the threes, he struggles. But then, you know they have cut him down from finishing in the lane.
Spurs by a point. Rasheed Wallace.
Now, you never like to play standstill basketball one-on-one for 48 minutes. But you know now you have Rasheed off to a quick start. So you cannot go away from him now the rest of this quarter.
And that has been the tendency in the past. Duncan off the glass. Duncan normally money in the bank when he shoots those bank shots, but not in the finals.
The early going, Detroit doing a nice job out on the defensive board, holding San Antonio to one shot attempt.
Here's Wallace over Duncan. In and out. Ginobili, but he's alone on the break. Looks for somebody behind, and now they'll reset with Bowen. Handing it to Parker.
I like their offensive ideas tonight. They're out quick on the break.
Tony again, and this time Billups reaches in and fouls him.
Well, you know, it's so easy to say, get in front of that dribbler. But when you're talking about Parker and Ginobili, you're talking about two quick cats with the ball who can handle with either hand. And then once they get down inside, they burn you because they can finish. And when they get into the paint, they might be thinking offense first before the pass. They're thinking scoring.
Ruby, I've never heard you say cats on the air. Very, very cool. Be shy.
That's old time terminology.
Here's Ginobili. All of Detroit's points from the guys up front. San Antonio up 9-8 early. First quarter in the game that the Spurs win. They'll make it 3 championships in 7 seasons. Wallace, who hasn't taken many threes, at least in the playoffs, but he can be deadly from outside. Parker going to whip it back to Ginobili. 3-point effort. Mohammed is there, and what a great block from behind. Wallace not only blocks it, picks it up, keeps it alive, gives it to Billups, and then Wallace keeps that alive to set up Prince, who spots up for a 3 and doesn't get it.
Prince has been struggling with the threes, not the percentages, mainly because he's not getting enough looks in three-point land. You just hate to lose a fast break advantage like Detroit just had, Al. The frustration, Al, has been their shooting percentage. For whatever the problem, they're only shooting 37 in game 1, 40% in game 2. That will not get it done here tonight.
Prince gets doubled, but gets it back outside. 5 on the clock. Hamilton launches and makes from 3-point land to make it 11-9 Detroit.
Well, we know Rip is not a high-priority three-point shooter, but the ball movement tonight, San Antonio's doubling quick, Al, on the baseline. You can get that with excellent ball movement.
And Duncan with Hamilton falling down off the switch.
Great block by Rasheed.
Now Hamilton. Prince passing up a 3. That last 3 by Hamilton was his first 3-pointer in the series. And he can't follow it with a curling deuce. And back come the Spurs down by 2. Ginobili. Prince starts back.
We got an advantage here. 4 on 3. Nice pass.
And because Horry, who has come into the game, falls down, Detroit is able to cash on that one.
That's why you're always looking up the floor. Push the break. Even though it's 4 on 3, something can happen. A collision, a guy gets ahead, maybe a man pins a guy in the paint. That was an excellent look by Billups.
Rasheed Wallace now has 6 points. Horry and Brent barrier in the game as Tim Duncan puts it in. That's his first basket of the night.
Now Detroit, throughout this series in the early going, they played Duncan one-on-one. That time, as soon as that dribble was put down the floor, the second defender came to double team him.
Parker on the bench, at least for the moment. He'll be coming back in shortly, but not until Billups launches the 3. You've got Parker out of the game, in and out. Greg Popovich, he's going to do what he did the other night. He's not going to play, in all likelihood, the rookie Beno Udrih. Instead, Instead, he'll take Parker out. They'll go into a motion set. And that motion pays off with a three-pointer here by Barry.
Oh, that's why you get Barry. You know that you're looking for a high percentage three-point shooter. 5 straight years, he made over 100 threes, and he shot over 40% every season. So you want him on those spot-ups, Al. It takes the pressure off the inside people.
Hamilton from the lane to make it Detroit by 4.
I like what they're getting from Rip Hamilton. He's out, he's looking, and he's shooting a nice percentage early on.
Ginobili got it back. Hamilton with 5 points in the game. Rasheed Wallace has 6. Here's Duncan. Duncan right now on Prince. Wallace comes over to help both of them, in fact. Now Bowen from the corner. And Prince will start it back.
Once again, Detroit doing a terrific job holding San Antonio to one shot attempt.
Lob into Rasheed Wallace, and Ginobili helps to break it up.
Yeah, that was a soft pass, and also a great play by Ginobili.
And then Barry underneath, and the ball is out of bounds, and they're going to confer, the two officials are, and say that Bowen touched it last.
Well, Bernie Fryer had a bad angle. Bennett Salvatore was right on that play on the baseline. Now just watch out to the top of the screen. Now that's debatable, whether or not he got it. I don't think on that one you can really tell.
18-14 Detroit. Parker comes back into the game. McDyess is in the game. He's been tremendous off the bench, regular season and in the playoffs, especially in the finals. And they've got a timeout taken by Greg Popovich. Duncan through the lane, lays it in.
Right there, McDyess is upset. He thought he cleared him out with that lead right arm. Now, you must go. If McDyess is going to be matched up on any kind of a switch on Duncan, Duncan must take him into the power game.
Hamilton. Duncan picks him up. He goes through the lane, and that's enough for Duncan there to impede the shot, but Detroit retains it, and then the ball is thrown off Barry with 6 on the clock. So Barry, the last guy to touch it. And for Detroit, you heard Stuart Scott talking about Lindsey Hunter before the game. Some question as to whether he would play with that sprained ankle. He is in there. Here's Hamilton, 1 on the clock. San Antonio a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3.
Excellent pressure that time by Bowen, and he did not go for any of the ball fakes. Stayed right on top of Hamilton.
Less than 2 minutes to play in the period. And a whistle before Duncan could get to the basket on McDyess. Team's 3rd.
Now watch, the clock is down now. You notice the push off, ball fake, ball fake. Bowen stayed right on him. That's the best you can do. The main thing when you're playing against a guy who is an excellent foul shooter, do not foul the jump shooter.
Hunter is on Parker. And McDyess comes out. That frees Bowen as they work it around from the corner. 3-pointer. Great ball movement. And once you create the double team, and somebody's going to be open sooner or later, and it's Bruce Bowen in his favorite spot.
Now everyone talks about Horry making the threes. Horry has made 11 threes in this series. Bruce Bowen, 11 threes.
And Billups answers from the outside. 3-pointer for Billups. And Detroit, a team that had been 8 for 44 in 3-point shots. That's a 182 average coming in. Tonight, they've already taken 5, and they've hit 3 in the game.
We know that Billups, one of the top 3-point shooters in the NBA, shoots it over 40%. He is a major force.
That steal is by Wallace, yes. And the basket is by Tayshaun Prince.
One of the very few times that you see San Antonio fall asleep in the transition defense. Prince is off, and he's doing an excellent job looking for his shots.
Final minute, opening period. Bowen from inside the arc, an air ball. But right there is Horry to clean it up.
First, I like the way that the offensive player reacted to the screen. They ran Billups right into that screen, opened up a shot. You can get that all day, but that is an area that Bowen is uncomfortable in. That's why you have the air ball.
Then Wallace will drive. Duncan comes back the other way. Shot clock is off. They can play it to the end here. Hunter with his hands almost in the pockets, if there were, in a uniform. And Parker then a floater with 2 seconds to tie the game. And then a half-court prayer from Billups off the top of the backboard. And the first quarter will end the way regulation ended in Auburn Hills the other night. Peter Holt has been here that entire period and has created a great franchise. A lot of people looking at this as a model franchise now in the NBA, and there's not much argument about that.
No, they have excellent coaching, terrific players, coachable guys. Then you have people in management making terrific decisions about bringing additions to this team. The Brent Barry, then the Mohammed, and then also the Glenn Robinson moves that they made this season, which really has helped them excel.
Manu Ginobili goes nose first to the floor here. The foul is on Lindsey Hunter. 14 on the 24 when they inbound the ball. Tony Parker. Ginobili is free. And McDyess can't handle the rebound, out of bounds.
In the early going, every time they run that high screen, you're getting a switch. And the switch is the defensive center. Once he switches out, Parker is by him. Even if you rotate in and take away the basket, they're kicking out and they're getting wide open threes. That's a bad sign if it continues over the 48 minutes.
Ginobili floats one home.
Well, right now we have Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan all shooting over 50%, doing what they're supposed to do. And let's see if they can continue at this high percentage.
Ginobili with 7 points. Now he's both clubs in scoring. Foul underneath. Tayshaun Prince hit as he puts it up.
Well, I like that strategy. Tayshaun Prince at 6'9", taking Barry right into the low post. Yes, all of the San Antonio guards, perimeter guys, they front the low post people. Now you need the perfect lob pass, the catch, and a strong move.
Prince makes the first of 2. WNBA on ABC. You'll see it this Sunday, 1 Eastern time, when the LA Sparks and Lisa Leslie take on the Detroit Shock. He gets his own rebound, does Prince.
Wow. That's almost unforgivable. He was never blocked out. The guy responsible went to the rebound, except the ball bounced to the left side. Always take care of that shooter.
And then he gets himself free to put in 2. So he winds up with a chance for a 3-point play that doesn't work, but winds up with 4 on that side of the court. And that possession, 26-25.
I like Prince's game right now early. He's got 3 field goals.
Barry missing from outside. Ginobili comes in to fight for the rebound and gets it. And then the foul is called as well. Hunter picking up a quick 2.
Throughout this series, San Antonio's attempting 18 threes a game. Now in games under 100 points, only one team has hit 100 in one game. So you must get the long rebounds on the 3-point misses.
Parker. Hunter had a huge night in the 4th game when he was one of 7 Pistons to score in double figures. He had 17 that night off the bench. Another guy off the bench, McDyess. Over Horry. Got it. Antonio McDyess.
Well, McDyess there in the season now shot over 50%. He's a high percentage guy. Horry could not play him any better than on that possession.
Parker whirling inside. Now Mohammed. It's trapped underneath, and you've got a jump ball.
Yeah, Mohammed, he's upset. But that, once again, in this series, That must be a catch and a strong dunk, not a fumbled ball. You must be prepared for that pass because Parker continues to look for you when he's behind the backboard.
Rasheed Wallace will come in at the next break. You've got Barry coming in here.
You'd have Ginobili and Barry in the backcourt with Bowen at small forward.
Ben Wallace and Mohammed. Reprise of the opening tip of the game.
Quick jump that time by Ben Wallace.
There's Prince. Oh, and right there is Ben Wallace. Great series for Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace is so active, quick of foot, a leaping ability, and then the fact that was a great pass. Now right now, Larry Brown is really upset.
Hunter took a shot. Take a look at it from this angle.
Yeah, now you see right there the referee, Danny Crawford. The play was right in front of him. The Detroit bench thought that Duncan was moving, and he clipped Lindsey Hunter.
Elaboration from Stuart Scott. Stu?
Al, when Lindsey came back to the bench during that timeout, he immediately started receiving some verbal jabs from the San Antonio fans, so he gave one back to him, but immediately Antonio McDyess went over to Lindsey and said, "My bad, I should have called out the pitch." Lindsey said, "It's okay." Assistant coach Phil Ford went to Lindsey and said, "Don't jaw with the referees," something that Larry Brown has been preaching to his kids. He says, "Look, don't worry about the referees, just worry about us as a team." Al?
Yeah, because that's been a steady theme throughout the series, especially in the couple of games here the last time. After a Hamilton bucket, Duncan answers.
Yeah, see, that can't happen. Mainly because you're not involved with the guy at the other end. You were not in the lane on that shot by Rip Hamilton's score. You must get back. And that's what you like about the Spurs tonight. They're quick of foot, not only after a miss, but also after a score.
And Rasheed Wallace, who can home in from outside.
Well, you have to love it, Al. Detroit has already made 4 threes in this game. They only made 8 coming into this game in the entire series.
8, as I said before, 18% as Manu Ginobili drives to the basket.
And this is just a bad sign, okay? That is his 3rd drive to the hole and score. And he's making it look easy as we're moving along in this ballgame.
Hunter off that tender ankle. Now Barry. Ginobili winds up in the hands of Barry. Good ball movement, and Ginobili gets fouled. And that foul is going to be on Lindsey Hunter. So Hunter has picked up 3 fouls all in this period. And that means in 4 minutes and some change, Lindsey Hunter with 3, and he's going to sit down.
Yeah, you got to sit, keep it right there. And there's the hit. The hit was between the elbow and the wrist. Now, remember we keep saying, it sounds simple. Do not foul a jump shooter. You're putting a guy who's shooting 89% on the foul line, giving him an opportunity to get easy points. Force him to make the shots. Give the pressure, but try to step back and not foul a shooter.
These are San Antonio's first free throws of the game. Here's Michelle.
Al, in 1999, Manu Ginobili wasn't even expecting to be drafted. He didn't even know when the draft day was. He said, in the weeks before, I checked online to see if my name was even somewhere so I could be optimistic, but it was nowhere, so I just forgot about the draft. And he was playing with the national team, and in the middle of the night, the manager came in and told him he was drafted 57th. He said, for me, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. 57th was the best thing that ever happened to me.
And for a lot of fans in San Antonio, they feel the same way as Bowen from the corner misses a 3. Of course, they've been very good, have the Spurs, as the ball will go out of bounds to San Antonio. But we talked about the Spurs and the organization before, Yubi. They get Ginobili 57. Parker's a late first-round pick. Horry's a free agent. They know what they're doing in terms of personnel.
Yeah, and also when you have a strong nucleus, it's easier to gamble on players like that, allow them to stay in the FIBA game, develop their game, So then when they're ready physically and they come over and they can contribute right away.
Meanwhile, that scene was typical of what's been going on in a very physical series. And now you've got a foul call before the inbound on Detroit on Rasheed Wallace. And that's already 4 team fouls now. Wallace is first. And Barry will go to the line.
Yeah, see, everything started with the collision with McDyess down on that baseline as he was trying to get to the loose ball. Oh, a technical foul on Chauncey Billups.
On top of it. That's before the inbound. So you got the foul call there, his foot. You got Billups with a technical. San Antonio is going to be shooting free throws for the rest of the half.
You were just in control. Detroit was playing their rhythm, their tempo. You had a nice 3 to 4 point cushion. Everything is going well. You're holding San Antonio one shot. You're making your threes. Then we have a few collisions, and the next thing you know, we lose sight of what's going on in 30 seconds. And now you're giving up nothing but easy foul shots.
So Barry makes the technical and makes both free throws off the foul, and that ties the game. .7:15 remaining in the half in a tie game. We were tied at the end of the quarter. Billups, Duncan out. Hamilton, he's got Bowen on him. Now Rasheed guarded by Parker. And at the end of the 24-second spot, despite the mismatch that they had, they couldn't cash in. And Duncan gets fouled by Wallace. Ooh, man, Billups has already picked up one technical.
That's right. Rasheed Wallace just made a strong block. Now remember, Duncan is behind the backboard. He had absolutely a very difficult time trying to get around him. Now just watch. Now you're going to see it right there. Now they're claiming he blocked the shot, but he also got his hand and his wrist. Now the referee at that angle right down in there had a good look at it. The main thing right now is she thought he had a solid block. You've got to get control of the game here, right? We're in a little bit of turmoil now if you're a Detroit Piston player. And also, the coaches are upset because all the action, Al, is happening at the other end of the floor.
It is, and they've overcome a little bit of a deficit here. And the only good news for them, as Wallace comes off and gets serenaded by the crowd, is Duncan is at the free throw line and has picked up where he left off the other night. This is the first of 2. And he makes that one to give San Antonio the lead by a point.
Well, right now, Detroit, come on, get yourselves together. Chauncey Billups, let's run the offense, get everything on, get a high percentage shot, get everybody back on the same page here.
From the corner, Hamilton is short.
Once again, McDyess, that's his favorite move.
Billups from way outside the arc.
Chauncey Billups on fire. He's 3 for 4 in threes. We told you earlier he's one of the top 3-point shooters in the league. Shoots it consistently over 40%.
Pistons have given up a 6-point lead, now up by 2. Halfway mark, second quarter. Barry for 3. And with Wallace and Duncan
good call
underneath going for the rebound, Tim gets the foul on him.
Yeah, Tim Duncan pushed off that time. Referees had that.
And a technical foul with Crawford over at the Detroit bench. So Crawford was over at the Detroit bench with Duncan arguing the foul call, and the technical foul is on Larry Brown. San Antonio, Texas on this Tuesday night. Detroit up by 2. Foul was on Tim Duncan. He had a technical on the other end. This will be the technical foul shot by Barry here. And it's still 38-36. And let's go to Michelle.
Well, in the last huddle, Al, Greg Popovich looked at his team and he said they have 5 threes. They have 5 offensive boards. We have 5 turnovers, and it's still a very close game. You need to close out Billups, make him the driver, and I don't see the same energy on the boards as the last game. Let's start guarding the perimeter. The defense has to pick up, guys.
And right now, his club with a chance to clinch it in Game 6. Otherwise, we come back on Thursday.
Both teams are shooting a very high percentage. Shade under 50. They're getting excellent looks at the basket. Once again, it comes down to the turnovers, and then can you take care of your defensive rebound?
Parker from the lane. With David Robinson looking on.
Yep.
He gets it, and the foul going to the line.
You can count on Parker going into the paint. We know that. But Parker is going to look to finish. Ginobili is leading San Antonio in assists with only 4 a game. Parker is only averaging 3, so you know when he gets down in there, he's looking for the shot first.
Parker in the playoffs shooting just 64% from the free throw line. McDyess missing.
Yeah, that was tough defense by Duncan. He pressured that shot all the way out. Solid position.
Duncan gets it back from Parker from 17.
They can get that all night. Mainly because the big guy is switching out the help, and then when the point guard tries to get back to the dribbler, the man who set the screen is wide open.
Duncan has 9. Billups lays it off underneath for McDyess.
Boy, that was a beautiful pass. He had to avoid the man coming at him.
Tied at 40. Parker drives.
If it's not Ginobili, it's Parker. And they're getting the easy layup because they continue to attack.
In the paint, doing what they have to do. They lead by 2. Then Wallace gets it in the lane, gets hammered. And Horry is there for the foul.
You are going to switch tonight out on the perimeter. If you are a Detroit Piston, you have got to be prepared for the hard dribble to the rim. They have been executing it time and time again, and they're breaking the defense down, just like in games 1 and 2. When we moved to Detroit in games 3, 4, and 5, Detroit did a much better job in that and then closing off the dribbler so he could not get to the rim.
Ben Wallace, notoriously poor free throw shooter, but he's had his moments from the line in this series. That was his first free throw attempt of the night. Duncan's going to get a breather. Mohammed is back in. Not even close on either, but they keep it alive. And then Hamilton from the baseline. San Antonio ball.
Well, this is what Popovich is all upset about. Man goes to the foul line, misses 2. He's a career 42% foul shooter. They get the rebound. Then they get a wide open look by a player from his favorite area. Fortunately, a miss.
And now they have it and a chance to stretch their lead a little. Parker, way short. Air ball here. Here's Billups.
They'll give him that, Al. They'll give him that all night long.
Parker is 0 for 9 in the finals on three-point attempts.
Plenty of time here. No need to rush.
Billups, and Horry is there again for the foul, so Robert has picked up 2 very quick ones.
Well, Chauncey did an excellent job. Right now, Robert Horry is telling Bennett Salvatore that Chauncey Billups grabbed his leg as he made his move. Well, you know right now Larry Brown is on fire, mainly because all of the technicals and the 2-shot foul has taken his team out of their tempo. Now, they are still in great shape. You're in a 2-point game. Detroit only has 1 turnover, and they've made 5 threes. So you're playing good basketball. Just stick with your game.
And Billups gets fouled on his way to the rack. Chauncey now with a chance to tie the game. Both teams over the limit. Free throws for the rest of the second quarter. Down to the final 4 pairs. This dancing competition, Dancing with Stars. Which celebrity gets sent home this week? On ABC this Wednesday.
Chauncey Billups in this series is now 31 for 33 from the line. He's shooting up over 92%. Makes it look awfully easy.
He does. He has 11 points in the game tonight. Leads the Pistons in scoring. Tied at 42, under 3 minutes to go. Throw it away. Hamilton drives all the way and gets by Parker to put it in.
Now that was just great defense by the Pistons. Not only do they, they get the turnover, they get the ball out. A great catch by Hamilton.
6 turnovers by the Spurs, and Detroit's made the most of those. They have 11 points off those 6. Horry. In case you missed him in Auburn Hills.
Very good point now. That is his 12th made 3 in this series.
A lot of things to think about the other night as Hamilton gets the look here and misses. Horry to Parker. And then Bowen, he misses. Racehorse basketball here. You've got contact in the backcourt and no foul. Hamilton going down, gets back up. Under 2 minutes to play.
That was a great defensive block by the Pistons. Unfortunately for them, they could not get it out. They had an advantage on the break.
Horry again.
Air ball.
This time not even close. It's gotten to the point that he takes one of those shots. You can't believe it doesn't go in.
Well, as soon as he catches the ball, you start putting 3 down in your scoreboard.
Billups gets his own rebound.
At Ginobili. Ginobili came off of his man. Came all the way over to help out on Billups.
And a foul here away from the play. That will send to the free throw line Antonio McDyess, the foul.
Yeah, we have an excellent competition going on between Robert Horry and then Antonio McDyess. They're really tight friends. In the offseason, both live in the Houston area. Both have tremendous respect for one another's game, but they're in there hammering one another. Horry is trying to keep McDyess off of the low post area.
Horry picking up 3 fouls, all in this quarter. Lindsey Hunter had 3 fouls in the quarter for Detroit. And Arroyo comes into the game, who he did not play the other night, Carlos Arroyo, because Lindsey Hunter, who would have come in here, has those 3 fouls.
Now, this is the first time that Detroit picks up a charge. And once again, Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Wallace is the one who leaves his man, gets over, and cuts off the lane. Keep an eye now right at the bottom to the left-hand side. There it is right there. Takes it perfectly right in the chest.
Parker's 3rd turnover of the night. Beno Udrih, we mentioned before, Popovich does not want to have to play him. He didn't play at all in the overtime game, game 5, but he does come in here for the final minute of the half. And one of the reasons maybe he comes in is because you have Arroyo coming in for Detroit. Larry Brown didn't want to play.
Yeah, plus you're 1 minute and 1 second out. You just do not want Parker to pick up any foul, and then they're also not happy with the charge at the other end. But right here, this was beautiful. This call was on Bowen on the baseline. Hamilton trying to get off a staggered screen, and they catch the hole.
Hamilton at the line for a couple. I was thinking about Horry's shot the other night, and of course, as we take a look at this.
Now this is just a man in motion. Now you said right there, Bernie Fire got the first grab. Now you say, my gosh, game 5, they were grabbing and grabbing and grabbing, and there were no calls. You guys even ran a montage of shots. You're absolutely right. It depends upon the personality of 3 guys reffing what is going to be a foul on that baseline tonight.
Udrih now.
Oh, he gambled.
Yeah, a gamble by Hamilton. That's going to bring Udrih into a spot where he can put one up, but that gets contested. Now Mohammed gets fouled underneath.
See, that's a shame. That's a shame because Mohammed had no chance of making that shot because his back, he was behind the backboard and he was going up. Unfortunately for Detroit, they had the body contact.
Mohammed at the line. On Horry's shot the other night, of course, that was unbelievable. Tremendous shot under a lot of pressure. So, you know, Rasheed Wallace is getting all of the heat in Detroit for not defending him. You keep forgetting. I mean, if you put Horry in his driveway from 23 feet, the over-under would still only be about 36%, right? He still has to make the shot.
That's exactly right. Everyone assumes when Robert catches the ball, even if he's contested, the ball is going in the basket. That's a man who has developed the pressure under the greatest of pressure situation and has delivered.
35 seconds to halftime. Spurs by 1.
They're not giving Ginobili the flop. That's his second flop right in the last 15 seconds.
About a 4.5-second differential. San Antonio taking as much off the clock as they can. Crowd rising. Ginobili starts to the basket, whips it off into the corner. Udrih, 3 seconds. Hamilton nearly has it stolen, can't get the shot away. And that's the end of the first half. And it ends with the home club on top by 1 as they try to clinch a 3rd title in 7 seasons. Here's Michelle.
All right, with Manu Ginobili, you guys talked about before the game playing with the same intensity you had in Game 5. How close have you come to that so far?
I think we're close. The thing is that there's just some things that are not going that well. We're not making some open threes. But overall, we are playing pretty well. I think we're going to be playing this hard in the second half too, and we're going to be fine.
Yeah, it's a very close game still and yet with you guys playing this hard. So what is the one thing you know is correctable for the second half to put it away?
I think one thing is the offensive rebounds. They are taking too many, and they are making like Chauncey Billups 3 out of an offensive board. It's really hard to guard. But on the offensive side, we just gotta find the open guy, an extra pass, and the percentages are gonna go up.
Manu, thanks a lot. Al, same stuff, the defensive boards.
Michelle, Larry Brown told his team that he was happy with their effort and their energy, especially down on the defensive side of the court. He said, we took a few bad shots, but overall, I like their effort and their energy. He said, now all we have to do is go out and play. I said, Larry, what did you tell them with maybe a half left in the season? He said, I told them to go out and play their rear ends off and don't worry about things they can't control. An obvious reference to the officiating and the 2 technical fouls they got. Al?
Right, a half left in the season, and we can only hope that Larry's health is good enough for him to continue next year. Otherwise, who knows what the future holds in that regard, talking about the final half of whatever.
Absolutely. He's had a wonderful job, and when you think of the ups and downs because of the operation with the hip and then the bladder problems, all of the games that he missed, highs and lows with the team, and then they get to the finals. Now, it's difficult, but at least he's been very consistent. If he's healthy, he will be back next year.
Meanwhile, his team just starts with good defense and the 24-second violation, turning the ball over. 8 turnovers for the Spurs, and the Pistons have committed just 2.
In that first half, Detroit, Prince and Rasheed Wallace have come in with 16 points, and that's a good sign.
Shot clock at 6. Rasheed from downtown. Duncan off the glass.
If you can test that outlet, you're going to open up, the transition game. You have to be very careful in the second half if you are Detroit.
Ginobili with a runner. 49-46 Spurs.
Now, Al, that is Ginobili's 4th score on a drive to the basket. He has 4 scores on drive. Parker has 4. 8 baskets inside of 6 feet.
And 26 in the paint as Hamilton drops that one. They make it a 1-point game again.
I like Rip's attitude. Rip has been very aggressive in this game tonight. His movements have been extremely quick. The guys are hitting him early, which has given him the daylight. Catch and shoot.
Parker with penetration off the dribble.
You have an advantage now.
Billups.
Mohammed did an excellent job getting back to equalize the defense.
And it's Billups now from 16 feet. Mohammed with the rebound.
Look out.
Ginobili again all the way, and this time he draws the foul.
You must get in front of him. Every time Ginobili comes across and hits that three-point line, you must concentrate. Now, there's only 24 minutes left if you don't get it done in your season. Get your body in front of him and make him make the pass.
Ginobili at the line for a couple. And this one, as close as it can get. 51-48, early third.
With Ginobili attacking the basket, Al, he's the only Spurs starter that's not shooting in the 60s, right, in this series. You know, Ginobili is right up there shooting 89% from the line.
Rasheed Wallace off the back rim. Parker gets cut off by Hamilton. Goes in there again and sends it back to Ginobili for a tray. It doesn't go. Hamilton will stop at the free throw line and drop that in to make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, we're so close to him. And as he came across that half-court line, his eyes were on that rim. He ran a little hesitation with that dribble, and then the shot opened up for him.
Ginobili looking to drive, and before he can do so, Brent commits the foul. His first of the game.
We have 420 players in this league, and only 35 of them are left-handed. And we have 3 of them in this game, 2 starting. Prince for Detroit, Ginobili. And it's an advantage if you can handle the ball, and if you have that long stride, and you're not afraid of contact in the paint.
5 on the clock.
Pretty.
Bowen, he's free. Duncan keeps it alive for San Antonio.
In game 5, Timmy Duncan had 8 offensive rebounds, and Horry had 5. So at that center forward position, 13 offensive boards.
Dishes it out to Manu. Missing again, but they get the rebound again. And then driving to the basket is Parker.
Hey, that's a nightmare. When you're coaching, that's a nightmare. Not only did you get them to miss twice, but they picked up the offensive rebounds, and then the smallest guy penetrates and comes on the baseline where your rotation must be.
Prince gets free. 53-52.
This game tonight has been solid, Al. He's 4 for 7 now from the floor. He's more active, and what I like about it is they are looking for him early, coming off the curls.
And Prince really got into it. He had a good fourth quarter the other night in the overtime game. Tayshaun Prince, last time we were here, had only 3 points in all of game 2.
Wow, that a moving screen by Wallace will open you up anytime.
Helps.
Yeah.
Ginobili guarded by Prince inside to Duncan, who has to reach for it, and then off balance missing, but Mohammed is there. Again, the offensive rebound and the basket.
Right now, Larry Brown talking to his coaches. He's frustrated. He's frustrated. That's their 3rd offensive rebound in the last 2 opportunities of offense coming into the offensive zone.
And they cash both of them. They cash 2 baskets off those 3, and then Billups from outside the arc. Chauncey Billups.
Greg Popovich, you look at that. Rasheed Wallace had Parker down in the post, and they end up with Billups making a 3.
55 all. Billups has 14. The penetration, but this time he's cut off. Billups again. Reverse misses. But he's going to get it back.
Yeah, he was thinking of the block that time. He had 2 blue shirts running him down.
Knocked out of bounds by Mohammed. Detroit to inbound. Chauncey Billups. And no doubt, as you look ahead, if Detroit sends it to us and wins it, again, you're looking at Billups as a prospective MVP. Ginobili, blocking foul. Checking with Michelle.
Al, during that last timeout, Greg Popovich lit into his team for the first time this game. He was telling them, look, possession by possession. He chastised Tim Duncan, saying, Timmy, that's Chauncey Billups. Close him out when he's shooting the 3. That's 2 threes you've let him have. Play smart, play hard. Guys, no one was off limits. But the good news for San Antonio, no one hung his head when he was getting yelled at. Parker, Ginobili, Duncan, they all nodded in agreement, and they even applauded, knowing the things they have to do better, Al.
Vintage Popovich. Rasheed Wallace just picked up his 4th foul. Ginobili at the free throw line. 1 out of 2, and it's a 1-point Detroit lead.
Right now, the guards for San Antonio are excelling. Ginobili with 18 and Parker with 12. But Ginobili's backing it up. He's tied with Duncan as the leading rebounder with 8 in this game.
The 4th foul brings McDyess into the game for Billups, and that one drops through.
What a great tackle. What a great follow-up.
Ben Wallace. And then Duncan loses Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace got pinned. Duncan worked very hard. After that score, he motored down the floor, posted up on the defensive circle, and pinned Ben Wallace behind him.
McDyess.
Lost his dribble. Oh, there you get a break there.
5 on the shot clock. And Bennett Salvatore from across the way signals a foul here.
On the switch. Yeah, on the switch, Brent Barry picked up the post man. Now this is just right in the face. And now, how about that follow-up? He's straight underneath the rim, and then he came up underneath. He gets the tap. Plenty of time.
Hamilton.
He's got it
on the outside. Long 2 for him, and the Piston lead is 3.
Yeah, Rip's starting to feel it now. He's 7 for 14, shooting 50%.
Duncan. Spinning through the lane. They collapse on him, converge on him, and you've got the foul here.
Every time that Duncan makes the catch, there's no movement. As soon as he puts it down on the dribble, here comes the double teamer. And they go for the strip. They've been very consistent right there. Now you can see the foul. The foul was strong right across the wrist area.
McDyess's 3rd foul. 15th foul. To the line they go now for the balance of the period.
From now to the end of this game, just like in Game 5, down the stretch and in the overtime. Anytime Duncan catches it, you cannot allow him to get inside. You must, if you're going to foul him hard, force him to go to the line. He must make the foul shot.
He's made 2 out of his 4 tonight. He's had a real struggle from the stripe.
Now, everything Al is about, if he's in his comfort area down in that post, low post, in the painted area, you know, you're in a lot of trouble. You're just going to play him regular.
And McDyess underneath, walked.
Well, for Detroit, that is only their 3rd turnover in this ballgame. They're a team that's right at the top of the league in fewest turnovers during the season, and at playoff time, they have been excellent at taking care of the ball.
And in the 4th game, as you know, many of you who follow it, they set an NBA Finals record with only 4 turnovers, and what Larry Brown said is as close to a perfect game as they can play. Bowen spots up. Got it. Bruce Bowen with a 3-pointer, and the Spurs are up again.
Detroit played all of the options as well as you could play. And with the clock down, that kick out in the corner is murder.
Billups. Oh, Chauncey. Billups. 19 for him. He is 5 out of 6 from three-point land. Barry on a drive, and that's a good play defensively by Prince. Got his hand on the ball. It's out of bounds to San Antonio.
One of the very few times in this game that Detroit has been able to actually get a deflection on a dribbler coming from a wing area.
The San Antonio River running right through the heart of downtown San Antonio. 64-62. Pistons, a couple of years ago, trailed Orlando in the first round 3-1 and came back and won it. East semis against Jersey last year, down 3-2 and won it. And most recently, that one right there against Miami a couple of weeks ago, trailed 3-2. They won that. They had one at home and one on the road at Miami. But as we have said, in this 2-3-2 format in the NBA Finals, no team trailing 3-2, as are the Pistons, have won the last 2 on the road. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
It's always nice to be the first team.
That's right.
Why not?
Very capable of doing it. Lindsey Hunter is in 3 guards in the lineup now for Detroit, and Tim Duncan turns around and ties the game.
Right now, Duncan has 14 points, but he's 6 for 10 from the field. Very quietly, he stayed within the offense, and he's allowed Parker and Ginobili to monopolize the shot attempts.
Billups has already hit 5 threes tonight. Hamilton gets the rebound, doesn't get the bounce. Tap back up, that doesn't go. Ball is loose, and it belongs to San Antonio.
What an effort by Ben Wallace. Coming down the middle of the lane, attacking the glass, and banging the ball, the missed shot off the board to keep it alive.
Biggest lead by either team tonight, 6 points, and that was Detroit. And Barry drives and scores with his dad looking on at SBC Arena.
You can't gamble like that. You gamble, and you know the Spurs guys, they've had so much success off the dribble. Just try to stay in front of them.
Rick's son, Brent, gives them the lead, and now the drive and the score and the foul here. And knotted at 66, and Hamilton will go to the line.
Well, Rip gambled at the other end. And as soon as he made that catch, you could see it. He was going all the way. And he's opening up now. He's shooting over 50% in this game, and he's at 18 points. So you know that he's going to be on fire here from now to the end.
When the Pistons have launched them tonight, they're 7 out of 13 on threes, but at the free throw line, they're only 5 out of 11. Billups has 19. Hamilton right now has 18. And now he too has 19. So tremendous play from the 2 guards here, and the Pistons are up by a point. Barry over to Parker. After winning the game on Parker, gets away from Lindsey Hunter. And Ben Wallace comes away with it.
With Duncan out of there, you know that San Antonio does not have a low post game right now. So with Barry, Ginobili, and Parker in there, everything is off the dribble, and you've got to be prepared for the isolation.
McDyess. Barry staying on Hamilton like glue, and then Antonio misses here. And the rebound comes off to Ginobili. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. fadeaway off the glass and a foul. Manu Ginobili can't get it to drop, but gets fouled.
They get the push on the hip, on the drive. As soon as he makes his move, just keep an eye on this now. Now watch the push right on the hip. All right, there it is right there.
McDyess is third. Here's Stewart.
Al, the last time out, Larry Brown was pleading with his team. He said, we are getting killed by dribble penetration. He said, we got to make them shoot jump shots. He told almost every player, stay in front of the guys when they drive. And even though they fouled Manu Ginobili in that last drip to the basket, he had 3 guys in front of him when he put the shot up. Al?
All right, Stewart, 67 all is the score. 1:45 remaining, third quarter. Prince. Hamilton drives on Barry, and Barry with a foul.
I like what they were doing that time down the floor. They're trying to post up Prince on Ginobili, force Ginobili to work defensively. If that is not there, they're reversing the ball to the other side of the floor, and they're allowing Hamilton to go one-on-one on Brent Barry. And they feel that Rip can get to the rim on Barry.
Second foul on Barry. Hamilton tries to give Detroit the lead. And he does on his 20th point of the night. He's a leading scorer for either team.
Hamilton, Billups, and Prince for the season all shot over 80% on the line.
(69-67). Billups getting ready to come back into the game.
Now we have seen very little of this coming down the floor, pressuring. So far tonight, no trapping by Detroit.
Oh, Ginobili comes out, and it's going to be off him.
Excellent call by Bernie Fryer. This was just a terrific deflection, and it right off of the leg of Ginobili. Now, Ginobili called out to Horry. There must have been confusion in that offensive set.
Detroit taking advantage of a lot of San Antonio turnovers tonight.
And they're trying to get Prince on Barry down inside.
They get McDyess, who spins around Mohammed, leaves him high and dry, and puts it in. 4-point lead.
Well, when a guy has an outstanding high percentage fadeaway jump shot on the baseline, you can get the guy to commit defensively. That was a beautiful head fake and a step under by McDyess.
Final minute of the quarter. Parker from 18 feet. No, but Mohammed keeps it alive.
Oh, look out here now. You have Ben Wallace outside on Parker.
Now you've got Ginobili driving through the middle, loses the ball again.
Great strip by Lindsey Hunter.
Spurs have turned it over 10 times tonight. And Prince is free from beyond the arc and isn't even close. Shot clock off.
Now once again, you know, almost every time they come with a high screen. Or they'll give him right there the opportunity to go to the basket and kick out.
Dished out to Barry, who can't hit at the horn. And that is the end of the third quarter.
You like what Detroit is doing? Their coaching staff has got to be happy. Their guards have 40 points between them. They're getting a nice production with the other starters up front. Rasheed Wallace is the only guy in foul trouble with 4. You've only had 3 turnovers, so you're basically maximizing your possession.
And inside, and the basket will count as McDyess gets to the hoop and gets fouled, and he can turn it into the biggest lead of the game with a make here.
Now that was just a pretty basketball play designed to beat the rotation of San Antonio. Now here is the release man, but now watch as McDyess comes right down the middle, and he gets there before the rotator. Beautiful basketball.
74-67, Detroit up by 7. Biggest margin of the game.
They've got to get Duncan involved here. You know, you got McDyess on Duncan. You know Duncan can shoot up over the top of Antonio.
Ginobili gets it back to Horry.
Yeah, good call. Very good call. Now, Rasheed Wallace is upset. All right, Larry Brown is upset. And you're going to see it on this replay. They get a definite push from the back. And I thought it was quite obvious.
And that's 5 on Wallace, and he'll sit down.
Now just watch, it goes right here. Now what? There it is, right there. Now you see the referee, the trail referee, had the perfect angle. Danny Crawford was right behind that.
Yep. And then they got Rasheed away quickly, because Danny Crawford will tee up quickly. Duncan saves. They move it around to Barry. 3 from 15. Follows, and it goes.
What a break. Now that is a big-time break. Detroit just got a terrific closeout and forced Barry to put it down right here. Now this is thing when things are going your way. How about that tap? That tap came. That was a miraculous tap.
Barry with a follow to make it a 5-point lead, going on 4. Good free throw shooter. Tayshaun Prince limps off to the bench. You have Rasheed Wallace with 5 fouls and Prince out for the moment.
He challenged a gallant effort. Now I could not tell whether he was injured on that play. Now Barry has been terrific. He's come off the bench, Al. 11 points for San Antonio.
And Larry Brown back to what he had to do earlier. 3-guard offense here.
Yeah, you're small now. See, you're small again.
Hamilton on the off foot. Duncan off the glass.
Yeah, this is a bad break for Detroit. With Rasheed out, and then Tayshaun Prince, another excellent defender, but at 6'9", a quality rebounder for you. So now you got a small unit out there with Hamilton at the small forward position.
Work it over to Barry. Hunter gets the rebound. He will be the 3rd guard. You've got Billups, Hamilton, Hunter. You got McDyess inside and Ben Wallace. And belongs to Detroit. Off Parker.
And they ran a clear out that time, and then they were going to allow Billups to take Parker off the dribble or take him down into the post area.
Check in with Stewart.
Al, Tayshaun Prince, you saw him limp to the sideline. He tweaked his right ankle. They're working on it right now, but he will return. Al?
Play the entire game. That means 2 off the bench. Turnover.
Great rotation. Anticipated that play. That was beautiful.
Only the 4th of the game for the Pistons. With 10 minutes to go in the period. Not even close on that 3.
Now, amazingly, we have seen Robert Horry shoot 2 air balls tonight.
And then it is Ben Wallace underneath, goes to the other side of the basket to make it a 6-point game.
Yeah, I like Ben tonight. I tell you, Ben is really quick. Off the dribble, he's attacking the basket. He's gotten himself 4 scores down inside.
He has 8 points in the game. The guards have done the damage for Detroit offensively. Ginobili, Hunter stays with him. 2 on the shot clock. Robert Horry.
Were they waiting for Robert? Now that is his 2nd 3 that he has made. So it's feast or famine tonight for Robert on the release.
He's made 2 to go with 2 air balls. Ginobili, back to Parker.
Detroit's got a button up now. He lost that.
Lost it out of bounds, but it's going to be ruled off the Pistons. Hamilton says he can't be crazy. Yeah, now Larry Brown's already had a technical foul. A second and he would be gone. In Detroit's locker room, it says San Antonio's parade is scheduled for Thursday. Detroit's idea, of course, is to have a game here and no parade on Thursday. You know, you think back a couple of years ago, San Antonio clinched the finals at home against New Jersey. They were down by 10 in the fourth quarter of Game 6. Right now down by 3. So do we see another fantastic finish here?
You use all of the props, Sal, to get your club on the right page with the coaching staff, and Detroit has answered that. They have been physical. They have made 7 threes. They've taken care of the basketball. They're doing an excellent job. Now all they have to do is keep it together for 8.5 minutes.
You know, even if it's not true, it's a great thing to put up on the board, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my. Wallace missed the jam.
We have not seen that happen very often in this series.
Ginobili underneath to Mohammed. He can't get anything to drop from inside.
Yeah, he thought he got hit. But you see, you got to send that down with 2 hands. One-handed stuff in the series and about, you're not going to get it done.
Guarded by Barry. Shoots over him. Duncan off the glass.
Barry has come in and done an excellent job. He has 11 and Horry 8, so they have 19 between them.
Barry drives.
That was pretty. That was very pretty. Unfortunately, he didn't get the roll.
All except the end result. 76-73, the world champions on top.
Yeah, Billups just went away from Prince Post and Barry on the right side to bring him over to the left.
Hamilton on a turnaround from the baseline. Loves that spot.
He's 9 for 18 now. Now, Bowen was right on top. See, that's a shot that exasperates a defender.
San Antonio will inbound the ball. There's 7 minutes remaining in regulation. Detroit is up by 5. Duncan, he's got Prince on him, so Prince is back in the game after he came out with the tweaked ankle and his whistle for the foul.
Right, see, they're not allowing tonight. If you're taking the ball to the basket, if the defender puts his hand on your hip or on your ribs and roots you out, that has been an automatic call. They have been consistent from the opening time.
Duncan, whose trips to the line have become an adventure. He is 2 out of 5 from the line tonight. Remember, Duncan in that Phoenix series in the conference finals in one game had 15 of 15 from the line. 2 out of 6. He's 3 for his last 13 going back to the Palace in Auburn Hills the other night.
Yeah, they've been looking at this ever since Prince came back into the game. Posting Barry in the low post on the right side.
Hunter stops and hits.
They needed that. McDyess has been the only player off the bench who has scored, and he has 10.
That's Hunter's first basket of the game.
Got to get up.
Parker. 4th 3, and Tony's been cold from outside, but hits a huge one here. His first three-pointer of the series. Halfway through the period.
They're looking once again down inside, and they went away from Prince and Barry. Clock is down here now.
Hunter all the way. So Hunter had been blanked until a moment ago and has picked up 4 quick ones.
And he has a bad ankle. We know that. He hurt himself in Game 5. And that was just a pretty move because that clock was down.
Duncan is swinging around to Parker again. Drives on Hamilton, but McDyess is there. Now Bowen out of the corner. And Duncan gets fouled.
For Detroit to win this game from now to the end. you must hold them to only one offensive attempt. That is their 11th offensive rebound. San Antonio has been paced by Nazr Mohammed with 5. But remember now, Duncan excelled in the second half of Game 5 by keeping the ball alive. He had 8 offensive rebounds, and you do not want him to be able to dominate now, especially when you get them to miss the first shot.
Duncan, 3 out of 7. And everybody just holds their breath in this building every time he's at the line now. Rasheed Wallace, with 5 fouls, will come back into the game here. McDyess goes out.
They need Rasheed to step up right now with the rebounding and the shot blocking. If anything comes at the offensive end, great, because you know they must play him.
And he makes both, and San Antonio's in the bonus the rest of the way. 4-point game. Rasheed Wallace does not have a point in this half. Parker pokes it away. Detroit inbounding here, 14 on the clock. Billups underneath, and Hamilton gets it, and they call it against Detroit.
Yeah, that's a careless turnover. They're saying that he caught the ball out of bounds. See, they set a double screen for him to come towards the ball. And when his man trailed him, he just cut right to the basket. See, they caught him stepping on the line right there. Excellent call. A good move by Rip. He was open, no doubt about it.
And Hamilton right now, the mask came off, and I think they picked up the strap, so I don't know if it's broken or the strap came off it, but they'll work on it. They'll put it back together here. But they can't stop the game because of this. Unless Detroit wants to take a timeout.
That's correct. Yeah, Rip has had this, and he's played with it, you know, and he has just terrific confidence. You're right here. Now, let's just see what happens. There it is right there.
Yep.
You see, you got the slap and a pull down. But unfortunately for Rip, the call was already made that he had stepped out of bounds.
And he gets a little break. I think the reason they actually stopped it is the clock had gone to 50 seconds instead of 5 minutes. It's 5:07, so because of a clock problem, they got enough time for that mask. Well, not to be repaired, but he doesn't have it on right now. They're still working on it.
The main thing is that it slowed the action down. It gives Detroit a chance to take a breather here, and then for them to work on it if it can be repaired.
Ginobili. Manu Ginobili makes it a 1-point game.
Manu Ginobili has now made his 40th three in the playoffs. Young guy is shooting up in the high 40s.
Rasheed Wallace, his first points of the half.
But we know, Al, they can get that any time down the floor. That has been there consistently during the 6th game. Run the screen, go to the midpoint area.
4:15 on the clock. And inside, Billups comes in and commits the foul on Tim Duncan.
If you're going to front Duncan, and Duncan moves you out, then you need to jam the passer. You cannot step back off the passer and see that you're not contesting the pass. So if you front the low post guy, you've got to jam the passer and make it difficult. See, now right there you see Chauncey Billups thought that he had all ball out.
Marginal call, 4th foul now on Chauncey Billups. Duncan at the line. 4 out of 9.
Well, everyone's trying to pick up his confidence. He knows what he has to do. You can make them all in practice and all before the game and all at halftime. A lot of pressure right now.
So 5 out of 10, that makes it 84-82 with 4:13 remaining in the 4th quarter in the 6th game.
they're going for the back down right there. And that's what you want. You want to force Parker to make a decision. If he gambles and he doesn't get the deflection, you want him to pick up the steals. Because you want to try to get into this penalty now going down the stretch.
That's only 2 team fouls as Parker picks up his 3rd foul.
Oh, it is a switch. They switched out. They got a mismatch down inside.
Billups batted. Prince gets it, and Prince gets fouled.
That's the advantage of Tayshaun. When he's in the game, you know that you've got an extra rebounder. He can get you anywhere from 6 to 10 in a game. And you can see his length by keeping that ball alive.
So 2 quick fouls against San Antonio. That's 3. 5 and they go into the bonus, so they have 1 more in effect to give here. Assuming it's not a shooting foul. 3:50 remaining in regulation. Billups inside to Rasheed Wallace. A turnaround. Air ball, but Prince is there to keep it alive. They'll reset. And Wallace will bang one from three-point land and makes it.
Now that is a big field goal.
8 3-pointers tonight. They had 8 in the first 5 games. Ginobili. Duncan.
Now they luck out right there. The Detroit staff, they're all up wanting to travel. Because as Ginobili ran that spin, he definitely trips over, and it was close to whether it was a travel or not, and they luck out by getting that loose ball.
Rasheed gets it. 1-on-1 with Duncan. 5 on the clock. Wild layup attempt, and then Prince is there, and he misses. And San Antonio comes back down by 3. 2.5 to go. Duncan in low. Gets the bounce.
That was a strong move. Rasheed tried to defend him without a foul. And we know when you have 5, that is a difficult cover.
Absolutely. He had to back off or he would have been gone.
You know what we're about. That's what we do. You know, that's what we do. Nobody can be more proud than this. All right? Come on. We got this game, every loose ball, every long rebound, every hustle play we make. All right? Let's go. Let's go. Have some fun, baby.
Larry Brown at the beginning of that timeout.
Well, you have to love it. He's proud of his team, no doubt about it. They played a great game. First time they've scored 80 points in 4 games in this building. Rip Hamilton and Chauncey have stepped up. They're getting good play from Prince and Rasheed Wallace. Big thing right now is they've got to get high percentage shots and then hold San Antonio to 1 shot attempt.
Detroit has seen a 7-point lead with 6:10 to go down to a point. A little over 2 to play. Prince.
Oh, wow.
Floater from the lane. 3-point game.
A mini hook as he gets bumped.
.150 left. Ginobili drives all the way in, and it is Wallace, and he's going to get that call.
Let me tell you, that was some block. Mainly because he elevated, and there was a player down on the floor. He blocks the shot, and the ball comes down and goes off the player on the floor. Great play by Ben Wallace.
Won a ton in this series. 89-86. Shot clock to 10. Chauncey's going to go all the way in and miss, but right there to follow is Rasheed Wallace. Timeout.
Now, you will go on the penetration or into the post on a kick out. You might look for a 3, but it must be a wide-open 3. Popovich is one of the best we have in the league at running plays on timeouts at the end of games.
Here's Ginobili. going to take it all the way underneath, and he's going to lose the ball underneath, and it's Rasheed Wallace with the steal. And Rasheed Wallace has 7 points in a little over 3 minutes. Big defensive play twice now. And all of a sudden, Rasheed Wallace, the other night, of course, he's the culprit for allowing Horry to get free. And tonight, a major star if Detroit wins the game.
Absolutely.
Now Billups.
I wish Chauncey would have passed the ball into Rasheed. He had Ginobili on that switch playing behind him.
Now from the corner. An air ball. Duncan underneath. Duncan pressured. Duncan can't get it to drop. The ball goes out of bounds and will belong to San Antonio with 39.8.
Now, Timmy was right up in traffic, Al. He had a couple of solid opportunities, but give Rasheed Wallace, once again, a lot of credit with the block, and he almost came up with the loose ball.
Now Ginobili. Ginobili from the corner. That's contested, and underneath Wallace comes away with it, and then you got a whistle back here.
You like to have players understand the clock. There was about 36 seconds left. You do not have to force a three-point shot because, you know, you still, if you had a quick score, you still had 24 seconds to play defense, and you would have had another possession coming back.
So Detroit will inbound from the side of the court. Prince to Billups, and that became easier when Parker fell down.
You know, you got to be careful with Billups now.
And they foul him. And of all guys, I mean, he's the last guy, obviously, you want to foul, but Chauncey has the ball, the clock is running down, and at some point, you do have to foul him.
Well, he's up over in this series now, up over 93%. And he's just been absolute death on the foul line. And he plays with so much confidence, and you notice they allow him the freedom, and they go up the floor and they space out. So even if you trap him, they have 3 people as outlets.
45 out of 47, now 46 out of 48 in the fourth quarter from the line.
Now I tell you, that is an impressive stat.
Last time there was a Game 7 in the NBA Finals was 1994. Timeout taken by the San Antonio Spurs. It's a 7-point, or in other words, 3-possession game right now. 25.1 on the clock, and the Detroit Pistons are that close to sending us to a 7th game for the first time in 11 years.
Well, you have to be impressed with the Detroit team, the way they answered the bell, not only from the physical nature with the shot blocking and forcing turnovers and that, but then with their excellent high percentage shooting, especially in threes. When you say 5 previous games, you only made 8 threes, and then tonight you needed the extra points and you make 8 threes, 8 for 16. You shoot 50%, and then your 2 guards step up and play great. And then the one guy that you needed to come in big was Rasheed Wallace, and he's done it down the stretch with 5 fouls.
You'll be listening to this. Larry Brown in the last huddle, what he says to his guys.
Hey, so look. Hey, I didn't tell you I love you guys. Listen, let's go.
Well, there's a lot to love going both ways with that.
Yeah, but you see, that's a man who is proud of his team. Sure. They have overcome a lot of things during the course of this season now, and everyone was counting them out tonight. He's so proud of them because they have answered the bell with their hearts.
And he is such a human. I don't know how else to put it. We did that Detroit-Indiana game with Reggie Miller coming out of the game, and a timeout had been taken to allow Reggie to get an ovation, and it was still building. And Larry comes out, and he takes a timeout, so it could go on and on.
Yes, indeed.
A great heart.
For me, by the way, that was one of the highlights of my career as an analyst in attendance, because the building was just beautiful, and they answered the call to Reggie Miller, which he was well deserving, and then Larry's move was icing on the cake.
Well, he has a great sense of the moment, and of course his best pal is on the other bench, and this is a series these guys will be talking about for a long time. Greg Popovich, who admires Larry so much. Larry brought him here as an assistant coach. Remember, Greg was an assistant.
Right.
Larry coached the Spurs. in the late 80s, going into the 90s, and now all of a sudden these two guys, these two best pals, have just set up the first Game 7 in 11 years in the NBA. Ginobili missing. Billups with it right now, and they can run the clock out. And one game for everything, with the coverage at 8:30, and the game a little bit after 9 Eastern time on Thursday night from San Antonio. So this series dominated by the home teams in the first 4 games. Every game around, all of a sudden, a phenomenal Game 5, a very tight, tension-filled Game 6, and back we come the night after tomorrow. 95-86. The Detroit Pistons win the game. Series is tied at 3 games apiece. Here's Stewart.
Thanks a lot, Al. Rasheed Wallace, at the end of the last game, you took a lot of heat for leaving Robert Horry and allowing him to hit that 3. Your mindset coming into this game was what?
Hopefully we can get a chance to take it to 7, and that we did.
Late in the game when you had 5 fouls, you'd been joined with the referees. You came back into the game in the 4th quarter, only 1 foul left. How could you control your emotions but still play so aggressively?
Just something that we had to do, something I had to do in order to push it to a Game 7.
What does this prove about you and your team?
You know, we could fight any odds. You know, a lot of people thought we was going to be out tonight, but, you know, they had their crystal ready and all that stuff. So, hey, we're going to pop it Thursday.
All right, thanks a lot, Rasheed. Chauncey Billups, you came in again and led this team. As a team, when you guys are trying to do something that you all haven't done, win in this building, what gives you the fortitude to do that?
Man, we just tough, man. We tough as nails. You know, our whole motto is if it ain't rough, it ain't right. And we always make it tough on ourselves, but we always find a way to, you know, climb out of that foxhole.
When Larry Brown told you guys in the huddle late in the game, he said, wait a second, by the way, I love you guys. What does that epitomize?
I mean, that's just how he is, man. He cares so much about his team and him giving his best effort out there. You know, he felt sorry for getting that technical at the tough time.
Way to go, Billups.
And, you know, that's just how he is. He loves us, man.
No team has ever won 2 games on the road, Game 6 and Game 7, to win the finals. How can you do it?
Hey, man, we did one. You know, it was all about getting 1 game, and now we got Game 7 coming up, and I'm ready.
What do you think about the idea that San Antonio had already planned a victory parade for this Thursday?
Hey, man, I mean, our team would have too. Our city would have too, but, you know, they got to put that thing on hold. We got something else to say. Pipe Sid, CC, come on, get out here.
Chauncey Billups, last year's Finals MVP. It could be another one, Al.